Hi, Mark.
Lights.
Camera. A distinct lack of action.
We already did a clap. That's just a clap for your benefit. We usually do that off camera. Well, actually, kind of on camera, but then you edit it out.
You're really parting the kimono here. Showing them behind the scenes.
Where do you get that saying parting the kimono from? What's that from? You've said that a few times.
I had a jacket on a moment ago. Now I don't.
This is true. Where did that go?
Yeah, what happened? No, I got it from the podcast called My Brother and Me, which I used to like. I haven't watched it for years.
Okay.
But it was about three brothers.
Right, and they wore
had
kimonos.
an advice podcast, basically.
Okay.
And when they used to talk about things that were going on off camera or little bits about how they make it, they go, oh, we're really parting the kimono here.
Okay. Instead of like parting the curtains.
Yeah, showing them what's going on underneath. Well, it sort of like makes it a little funny. So it's not an original thought.
There you go.
And look,
I have very few original thoughts.
I don't know whether it was an original thought. Maybe they got it from somewhere as well.
They may have.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, don't give away all our secrets because I was wearing. Should I go put the jacket on?
Do it. You look classy. Well,
I did look classy.
You looked as classy as you
I
can.
I went to the gym earlier. So
You're like, I got to show off these guns.
But I haven't showered. But I put on a jacket, so it makes me. So thankfully, it's not smell-o-vision.
Thankfully, smell-o-vision is not a thing.
What are the wafts like? Not too bad.
No, I'm actually not smelling it. So you must be doing all right on the smell front.
Probably didn't do enough at the gym then.
That's probably
Would
true.
you like to describe to me what you're seeing?
He's putting on a jacket. If you can imagine the right hand going into the sleeve, and then a little bit of a struggle as the left hand goes in.
You're not talking about the gyrations.
So the collar's still not quite right. He hasn't got that sorted. Okay. There was some gyrations, but if there's any children,
Yeah, you really.
I figure I better not describe
It's on
that.
my channel. We can get away with gyration
I
chat.
suppose so. It's raining.
I'm feeling unsettled about
If I can hear the dripping in the background.
We're basically don't think of us as a rugby podcast of this week. Think of us as like one of those cool little sleep podcasts.
But ASMR.
Let us talk you to bed tonight.
Bit of white noise.
What can we say? Imagine yourself coming down a long road, and at the end of the long road, you see a wooden cabin, and in that wooden cabin, you feel propelled. Compelled, not propelled. No one was propelling you. Propelled. Someone kicks you up the arse. Get in there. Yeah. Have you ever listened to a sleep podcast?
No.
It's all about that sort of shit. And you go inside and then and it's nice and warm. And you open a chest and you look inside the chest and you find a 1975 Playboy where the bushes are abnormally large.
Or normally large.
Yeah, exactly. All natural. Hey, I haven't poured my beer yet.
You're just slightly off the pace with everything today, Tones.
I'm really, really lacking behind.
This is our 99th episode.
Ba-boom. Oh, yeah, we have to get this out of the way.
The big 99.
99.
That means next week.
Please.
It's a Hyundai.
Woo! It's going to be a big event. It really is. And to mark the occasion, we haven't really got any great ideas, but I have created a Google form where you have the ability to upload a short voice recording or a video recording, if you will, and feel free to roast us. Feel free to share a moment that you enjoyed or a distraction or whatever you like, really. And
the story about that time where Tony shit himself on a plane.
Yeah, if you
or
like
the time
that.
where I farted next to a Chinese kid and kind of let him take the blame for it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's been so many good
non-rugby
moments.
Yeah, exactly. So any of those moments, I'm not going to watch. We're not going to watch them. What my plan is, because we're opening this up to the internet, and we do love you. But there are weirdos out there. So
well, there's two of them here as well.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm going to get Lydia just to go through
Screen them.
Okay. To be fair, it'd be a pretty quick job to do that right now. Not a lot to screen. So if you feel compelled or propelled, please, record a little video. You'll see the link below, or a voice recording, and just, feel free to roast us. That's absolutely fine.
We like a
just
good
do it
roasting.
in the spirit of
The 2CGD.
of the 2CGD. It's 2 cents gets distracted.
It's a rugby podcast.
Yeah, and we really appreciate you being along for all 99 of these episodes.
Exactly.
And I'm sure all of these people watching have watched
Every single one.
every motherfucking moment.
Even the one about the Women's World Cup, which didn't do that well.
Still on record as our
We were
worst.
so pumped that episode.
We
as
really
well.
were like, wow, just some real good
Well,
stuff.
I guess your country's just won the World Cup in a nail-biting finish.
No,
We
it
were
wasn't that
pumped.
one. It wasn't the one afterwards. It was it was before. It was like the start of the tournament.
Oh, okay.
Like the
The
first round of games had gone on, and we were like, "Whoa, some of this is pretty good." And we got into it, gave previews, and got rundowns. We're talking about Canadian female rugby players and stuff, and we called it Ladies' Night.
yes. Maybe that's where you went wrong.
Yeah, put it all over the thumbnail.
Because I know the analytics on my channel is 97%.
Yeah,
dudes,
well,
so-
I just thought it's rugby. They'll be interested, and we will. You know what saddened me though? We did it once, and we got terrible reaction. So even during the Rugby World Cup final, I think I might have put Portia Woodman in the thumbnail.
Right, but you
But
didn't lead with
I
it.
didn't lead, even though it was the leading story in our hearts.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, we need those dollar bills, and we get those dollar bills from your clickety clack.
Women's rugby is a bit of a tough one in that, like, I would like to do more women's rugby stuff as well.
Me too.
Because I think it's the growing part of the game.
Yes.
And I enjoy watching it, so I would enjoy talking about it.
Yes.
But it's kind of bad for my channel because the views always tank
They
with
always
women's
tank.
rugby.
And in terms of like, oh, we lost a light.
Wow. That's not the technical difficulty I was expecting.
No. Holy smokes. Yeah, I'm going to try and turn that back on. I'll come back. You talk to them about, say something really, really engaging and insightful.
Women's rugby?
Yeah.
Right. Yes, but I would like to do more of it, but it doesn't... Ooh. So even in this case, women's rugby is being trumped by a faulty light, which refuses to stay on.
Yeah, it really is. Oh, I think that one just keeps on going.
Yeah, that one's kind of broken.
Yeah. That's the older one that was cheaper and just won't quit.
That's right.
And this one's a newer one that was
To
more
replace
expensive.
another broken one.
To be fair, though, I haven't treated them particularly well. That one's got
suppose so.
tape on it, for
It
God's sake.
does.
Anyway,
But yeah, YouTube kind of punishes you for doing low view videos.
yeah, that's right.
So it's just the kind of... Like, I used to do the MLR as well, but I was like, these videos always tank.
Yeah.
I've done NPC way back when. Those views tank. So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard. But then
And when it's your
maybe if
livelihood.
more people did them, then they would actually help grow the game to the point where it would be viable. But
Yeah.
there's not anything in it.
And you watch some of those women's podcasts, and they're done by, I know, women's rugby podcasts, and they're done by like legit rugby personalities.
Yeah.
And you got like 78 views or something like that.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, ouch.
Yeah.
I feel like there's not a lot of crossover, believe it or not, between the actual audiences, because you see those games and they've got 20,000 people there
Yes.
or whatever.
These are not people who are watching a couple of white dudes talk on a podcast. about women's
100%.
rugby.
No, my sister went to the World Cup semi-final.
But she wasn't engaged.
She hates rugby.
Yeah.
But she's a feminist. So she was like, and then remember she said
Remember
to me,
she told you that women's rugby was...
she was like, I think it's actually really good. I think it's better than men's. And
yeah.
I was like, it is really good. It's awesome. It's fantastic. But
Yeah.
that's because rugby's really good.
Yes.
It's a really good game to watch. And I think there are differences in the game. But I think it's just you associate, and a lot of those individuals that are associated with that audience that would like the women's game are actually really turned off by the rugger bugger, masculine. What's the word I'm looking for? Macho. No, I was going to say chauvinist sort of aspect that they perceive that is present in rugby.
Right.
We're not going to get into that at all, or talking about Mark's toxic masculinity. That's for another day. But so they're really turned off to that. So
Yeah.
there might be a big audience there, but they're not going on YouTube to listen to talk about rugby.
I already accept the fact that my audience are pretty diehard rugby fans.
Yes.
Like like if you did like a Venn diagram of general rugby fans, and then there's people who would be willing to listen to a guy in front of a whiteboard talk about rugby, there's not that much overlap. And then if you include women's rugby fans, that's an even smaller group
Yeah.
which would cross over with what I do. Yeah. So that kind of sucks. Because I get messages from people every now and again, like, oh, you're going to talk about this, you're going to talk about that, like this, like
We'd
Women
love
Six
to.
Nations and stuff. But it's...
And at the end of the day, it's not it's your livelihood. It's your job. So you can't actually afford to do, 6 videos a week that get under 500 views, Starts to impact the pocket. The old pocketino.
Nobody just need to make better videos.
Maybe. Yeah, stop being so shit, Mark.
I know.
You won't find any shit here on
2 Cents Gets Distracted.
It's a Rugby podcast.
On Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
And wherever else you get your motherfucking podcasts.
That was a heap of early rugby chat.
Well, yeah, rugby,
Ish.
YouTube adjacent female rugby chat. Do you want to talk more about ejaculation or wanking or anything like that this week?
We've done a bit of that.
We haven't done a bit of wanking on
Well,
the
you had
pod.
your pants off as many as like
exactly.
10 minutes ago.
I did. I was having a chat to you with my pants down. How'd you feel about that?
Well, you did ask me if you thought you should do the pod with no pants. I'm pleased to tell you that he opted to go with the pants.
Yeah. I'm a little bit disappointed.
Otherwise, you wouldn't need that light. You'd have so much light reflecting off those pasty white legs.
There are Fanta pants down there. Like there's a fucking fire down there. All right. Wow. That was fantastic stuff, Mark. Really, I think one of our best ever shit chats. Well, it's definitely one of them.
Loughnan.
Loughnan. Oh, do you have a stuff?
Nathan Loughnan.
We were meant to... Last week we had three sponsors lined up.
And
But
admittedly...
this week, Mark, who's a corporate liaison, fumbled all of them, and we haven't got any. But Loughnan, we said we were going to give you our next free week.
He did say he hasn't yet found employment.
So let's get back at him. Okay, so this episode is sponsored by the motherfucking man, the legend that is Nathan Loughnan.
He's Irish.
He's Irish.
But he's also got a British passport.
He just finished a degree in geography and sociology with a focus on statistics and regional finance. He's a man of the world.
He is.
And he knows what the people are up to.
You should see his fucking work experience.
Exactly. And I like his...
I think he's got more work experience than me, and he's a lot younger.
Yeah, exactly. He's like 30 years younger than you. You old. Damn.
I think he's 11.
He's now looking for a job, though.
I bet you he would be a great employee.
Just the fact that he's flicked us a couple of shekels, that shows, for a random podcast on the other side of the world, shows a interesting amount.
If you're looking for someone to show initiative, I feel like Nathan is your guy.
Yeah, absolutely. He's looking for a job, something exciting, global, and fast-paced. He's open to different industries and roles, as long as the work is challenging and engaging. He holds both Irish and UK passports and is willing and able to go wherever in the world.
Do you reckon he'd go to Hamilton?
Maybe if he did some sort of crime. I think it's a good place to go, or if he's in witness protection.
Okay.
Potentially. Oh, no, good people in Hamilton.
Yes, I actually quite like Hamilton. It gets too much shit here in New Zealand. Yeah, I'm going there.
Why do you... Look... The people of Hamilton are lovely. Some. No, they're good. They're good people. What is there to like about Hamilton? It's landlocked. River?
I lived in Wuhan, which is like a landlocked central city with a river through it that nobody outside of China had heard of pre-COVID. Hamilton is like a landlocked city, which is like one of the major cities in the country, but no one outside of New Zealand is like, I know Hamilton.
So it's New Zealand's Wuhan.
It's New Zealand's Wuhan, just without the COVID. But it's got the STIs, or at least
it does have the contagious
element to it.
Yeah.
It vibes with me. It vibes with me a lot.
Okay, well, what else is there to like about Hamilton? The river, the Waikato River.
Like, what's there to like about Auckland?
The beaches, the Waitakere Ranges, the urban expanse, the
Hamilton's
nightlife,
got
the waterfront. Yeah, we got trees.
And a river.
We got rivers. We got beaches. Lots of beaches. We got 50 volcanoes.
They got lakes.
Shitty ones. They got the Hamilton Garden.
How many days a week are you going to a friggin' beach?
A lot. I went to a beach yesterday. I went to Muriwai.
Well, that's fine for some to go on the weekend to a beach. I actually came out to the beach just down here the other day.
It's lovely. There's a beach just down the road. We're right on the Waitemata Harbour right now.
Exactly.
It's great.
I brought my in-laws here yesterday, and it rained. So
past
we got
my
in the
house?
car and left. I didn't go past your house, no. I turned right.
To go down where?
To go down by that water beach view, whatever it's
There's
called.
a beach just there as well.
Yeah, I know.
It's a lovely walk around here.
It is.
We're giving away too much information about where I live.
Dox you.
Don't dox me, man. Okay, anyway, back to him. Finance professional. Here's a summary of his experience.
Okay.
You're waiting for a summary, weren't you? He's currently doing an internship at a discretionary investment manager. We know what that means. Completed a venture capital internship this year. He loves an internship.
But has he done anything in hospitality? Can he talk to the people?
Well, I know he did a summer internship at an investment firm. He also interned in the legal sector, and also creative sectors such as advertising. And you want to guess this? Types of people that gave you The Lion King, Toy Story. He's worked in animation, is what I'm trying to say. He's done it all. Sales and marketing. Working currently in sales and marketing for a global consumer brand. Was a sales manager of a small antique business.
That's a breadth of experience for a man that age.
Bartending and hospitality.
There you go.
There you go. You was coming up.
He knows how to talk to your people.
Worked in various bartending roles between 2019 and 2023.
So he pours a good pint.
Well, you'd hope so, absolutely. Across pubs, bars, hotels, and yada, yada, yada. And held a part-time duty manager position at a cafe. That can get pretty full on at a cafe.
He handles pressure.
Busy Sunday morning.
Educated guy, knows how to talk to the people.
Stressed out mum and dad with a screaming baby, trying to find a table.
This guy knows his shit.
An old person taking 6 minutes holding everybody up at the counter. Oh, he's been there. He's done it. In short, he's worked across finance, sales, hospitality, operations, and student leadership. Boy, what has he done? He's taken on responsibilities in small businesses and completed internships in more formal environments. He's flexible about what comes next. What is going to come next?
Let's get this man a motherfucking
Get him
job.
a fucking job. What matters is the work is cool and interesting. If it's not cool and not interesting, still offer it to him. He might say yes. There's a one-page CV on here, but we've got his LinkedIn down below.
Down on the thingy.
All right, that was a free one because we love your chutzpah, mate. We really, really do.
Well done, Nathan.
Thank you, Nathan.
Any
really
future
appreciate it.
sponsors, get in touch.
Exactly.
I will try to liaise with you.
Yeah, you fumbled the bag this week.
Ba-boom.
We're 3-0. I apologize that he didn't get
This
back
is the
to
magic that I can make. How to turn 3 sponsors into none.
Yeah, exactly. Parting the kimono a little bit more here.
There you go.
All right, shall we talk about...
The other 2 sponsors will likely be back, just FYI.
Oh, fantastic. Rugby. Did one of them, you told we lost one completely?
Well, Nathan's done, I think.
Get the man a job.
Yes.
God. Yes.
He won't need us to talk about his CV come next week because he'll have a job.
Jobby job. Indeed.
Bordeaux did a job.
They sure did. They sure did.
Won their first ever major trophy.
You felt throughout that entire game they were just better, but you were hoping for something magic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was like watching boxing where he's got the other guy on the ropes but just can't quite land that killer blow.
And the other guy's got power. And
he's got holding on and you're waiting, geez, if this guy gets his chance...
Yeah, if the other guy's got a punch his chance and he's dangerous the whole time.
Still in touch throughout the entire game.
Yeah. I think he would have won every round, though, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Came out firing, though, Northampton.
Yeah, first try off the bat. Those are lovely first 5 minutes for them.
Yes, the first half generally was a very good watch.
There was the number 6. What's his name?
Coles.
Coles is a good player.
Not Dane.
Coles is good, although I thought he was great around the park. He was clearing rucks really, really well. But there was one moment in the second half where they were just starting to gain back momentum. And they had the ball. They had just past the halfway. And there was a moment where he had to clear out a ruck. And he just missed his assignment and leant on it. And then got blown off the ball. And then they never had another look in after that. And I was like, that. And it just felt like a big moment right there. It was a small thing. But I was like, he really needed to clear that ruck properly. And it was just an effort play. So hopefully he learns from that moment because he was an outstanding player.
They had a couple of tries disallowed. The old Henry Pollock, the young lion.
Yeah.
He had one disallowed in the first half for that kick through. He was just ever so slightly offside. If they get that one, who knows?
It was pretty close, that call.
It was very tight. And then they had the one in the second half where Big Ben Tamiafuna was just slightly being held back at the side of that. Was it a ruck or a maul? It was a maul.
Yeah.
And, they called it back for that one. If they get either of those, I mean, Bordeaux had a disallowed try as well with BLBRA's forward pass to Peno with that 1-2 play, but
you kind of just felt like if they just get one more try, you're hoping as a neutral, you're just hoping for the
One more score.
You're hoping for a grandstand finish.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, look, they're staying in it. They were in that 8-point bracket, which you're not totally out of until like the 78th, 79th minute.
Yeah, basically. A penalty or a try, and this is going to be a grandstand
so
final
you just,
couple minutes.
For the last 10, 15 minutes, we were just like, oh, come on, let's get this happening.
Yeah.
But when you look at the grand picture of the entire game, it looked fairly obvious that Bordeaux was just a classier, more cohesive side that deserved the win.
Neither side was helped early on because Ram, who's been Northampton's outstanding outside back, he went off within like 2 minutes. Like by the time the try was scored, and then Furbank got a freaking knee to the head like within 5 minutes. They'd lost 2 of their back 3.
That was nasty.
That's awful.
Was it a little bit careless?
Careless from Buros, but then Buros went off later with an HIA as well, so they had to put BLBRA at fullback. So both sides had to kind of rejig their back lines.
It was interesting commentary. It was clearly from
the commentary was fucking insufferable.
Northampton perspective.
Oh my god! Andy Good is not good.
Yeah, well, he's just
so negative.
Well, it's just like watching, like Manchester United TV. Or something like that. It's clearly like when the other team scores, they go, and Tottenham scores.
Yeah.
I guess that's a good goal. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Whereas
he was just bitching and moaning about that should have been a penalty. That should have been a card.
That's a yellow card
back.
every day of the week. Yeah, you got to try and respect the referee's calls.
I mean, the referee was a little bit all over the shop, and there was a shitload of TMO in that game. But some of the stuff, it was just like, come on, guys. Can we talk about the game?
Yeah.
There's a friggin' final on here.
Yeah, that's right.
Stop making me feel down.
Yeah, indeed. But what about that? I just love watching BLBRA.
And Damien Penaud.
And there was a couple of moments where they combined really nicely as well.
They do that really well.
So what's this talk about? Okay.
Penaud was he was a little bit of a question mark about whether he'd be fit, because back in the semi-final, he hurt himself.
Yeah.
He went off limping like tears in his eyes, like I'm fucked, like I'm not going to make the final.
Yeah.
And then he goes on and scores 2 tries in the final and gets like voted European Player of the Championship.
Yeah. He's a fine player, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
Jeez. There was every time BLBRA is chasing a ball that's kicked in behind, my heart starts to race.
You just kind of lean forward
like,
a little bit, like, oh, here it comes.
Your butt puckers. You're just like, oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Are we going to see that guy in New Zealand?
I hope so.
Oh, there's noises that they're ascending a more
supposedly some of the top players want to come down.
All right.
I mean, if you're a professional rugby player, going to New Zealand would surely be like a bucket list thing.
They say it's one of the greatest tests in rugby. You're not playing at Eden Park. Why do we only do 1 test a year at Eden Park now?
They have to spread them out.
What?
They usually do 2 at Eden Park because that's their big money earner.
Yeah, right.
This year we got the Box at Eden Park.
Who else we got?
Do we have the Wallabies at Eden Park?
We must have someone else.
Don't have the French.
It's already sold out. I wanted to go to that game.
Yeah, sold out in no time.
I didn't even get a notification that was on sale.
Snooze, you lose.
I did lose. I feel lost.
You should.
Hold me now. I'm 6 feet from the edge and I'm sinking.
I love it how we can talk about the All Blacks against South Africa while talking about Bordeaux and Northampton.
Sure, me. We learned about that.
Yes.
We learn about things quite often. Like you said, and they were making like football chants. Like, who are you? Who are you?
But it's me.
And then we, thankfully, we had 63 people will say it's actually, it's because that area is known for cobblers.
There you go.
And they say, shua me.
I bet you they stole it from Uaya.
Shua me. Now I sound like I'm saying shwami.
Yeah,
like
I just thought
type
that.
of food.
They also had a couple of tries through their big locks, did Bordeaux. Adam Coleman over in the corner, Jelly Bear. Ooh, I love a bit of Jelly Bear when he's on form.
Jelly Bear's got feet like they're just beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful feet, don't they?
He'd love a good cobbler.
Yeah, exactly. I want to see his cobbler. Give me a pair of those.
But yeah, you thought they were going to go open side. He goes back blindside. That's a reference which many of the audience will not understand.
No. Well, yeah, who do you? That's okay. Well, we do a few of those. But then the one person who listens, who gets it. Like when I said earlier today, my brother and me, like there'll be like one person who's like, I will listen to that.
There you go.
I made some strong bad references. You know what strong bad is? very old internet.
I know
stuff.
Breaking Bad.
No, it didn't make any Breaking. Have we made any Breaking Bad references?
I don't think so. I am the one who knocks.
Yeah, I am the one who knocks. Yeah,
It's a good one.
yeah, that is good. Yeah. Breaking Bad's so fucking good.
It's a really good show.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
My wife actually preferred Better Call Saul though.
Oh really? I only watched a couple of seasons, or maybe one,
No,
three
it's
quarters
really
of
good.
one season.
It's really good.
Just couldn't do it. You know the best show on television that I'm watching at the moment?
The Wire.
No. I'm not watching it at the moment. It's 2 seasons on Apple TV. Severance.
Haven't seen it.
It's very good.
There you go.
Very good. I enjoyed it
Good.
immensely.
I'm pleased for you.
I'm pleased for me too. Do you want to talk about Game of Thrones now? How it shat the bed in the last couple of seasons?
You can talk about how the game kind of shat the bed
Oh,
in the
yeah.
second half.
Yeah, it kind
8
of.
points in the second, like 40 points in the first. Like I'm not saying a game has to be fucking like 80-point games.
It is also. It's got 2 cents distracted.
Yeah.
It's a
But
rugby
that
podcast.
game, it lacked the same quality in the second half. Like there were still some big defensive plays, but there was a few knock balls. There were a few turnovers that were unnecessary. A lot of TMO interventions.
Yeah.
He jumped into the tackle. Oh, actually, he's tackled him in the air. Like,
Why is it that high stakes rugby has the opposite effect from playoffs, NBA playoffs, NHL, and Origin?
yeah.
Where it's like let the
Yeah.
motherfuckers play.
I've watched enough
You know?
NHL to know that it is controlled in a very different way
Finals
from the
in
regular
our-
season.
finals
in
in
the
our-
NHL, they just basically, unless it's fucking absolutely egregious,
yeah.
they just let most of it go.
Yeah.
They want the game to flow, and also they don't want to be like the center of attention.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the same with Origin. That's the same with the NRL finals. And like an NRL grand final, it can be a bloodbath. And it's very entertaining. But for us, we seem to, instead of going that way, if anything, we tighten our assholes up
Yeah.
even further.
Let's get out the microscope.
Yeah, exactly. And then bloody TMO wears a suit and wants to get involved in every fucking... You know what I'm referring to.
I do know what you're referring to.
Never trust a TMO in a suit, ladies and gentlemen. We're not better. We're not making reference. If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
I think overall, Bordeaux very good value for their win.
Why are you wearing an Italy outfit today?
I'm wearing an
Yes, I
Italy
agree.
jacket.
I agree that Bordeaux were the better team. They deserved to win the game.
Yes.
Great effort from Northampton.
Yes.
They never gave it away.
I think budget-wise,
fought on.
Northampton is on a lot lower budget than Bordeaux or any
Yeah.
of the other big teams like Leinster and Toulouse have got monster budgets. Which is always one thing that gets brought up.
Why do they all have like? Why do all the young men in the Northampton team seem to have like strawberry blonde hair?
Coles, Pollock, a
And
bunch of them.
and they have like a Beatles haircut if the Beatles shaved just the sides.
Yeah.
Left like the
Yeah.
front flop around.
There's worse haircuts out there, but that just seems to be
Yeah,
a
there's a
thing.
lot of them, isn't there? Yeah. It's an odd look.
It's different.
It looks like a bloody giraffe's tail, but it's off the front. Anyway.
Maybe that's just what the young people are doing now,
That's what
Tony.
the cool kids are up to. I'm not. They're not wearing weird blazers and
As far
cheese
as
cutters.
finals go, how are you ranking that? Like lived up to the hype or like...
I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. I would give it an 8 if there was a grandstand finish. I'd give it an 8.5 to 9.5 if there was a grandstand finish and Northampton managed to pull it out of the bag. But yeah, 6.5.
But it just kind of got ground down.
Felt like it was warming up into something pretty
Interesting,
good,
that
but just
penalty
couldn't
from
go through with
Luku
it.
where he fucking hit it from like 40 metres or
Luku's
whatever.
great, isn't he?
And they didn't even want the tee on the field because I think Northampton had a yellow card, right? And they were like, let's go for the corner. But the referee was like, the tee's already on the field.
Wow.
You have to take the kick. So and he was like shaking his head like fucking motherfuckers. But that actually
Luko-
ended up being like the difference maker to make it a 1-score or 2-score
Imagine
game.
Luko.
Luku.
Obviously, a quality, potentially world-class player
Who's not Antoine Dupont.
who's not Antoine Dupont. He is the Aaron Cruden of the French rugby world.
halfbacks. Yeah.
Yeah. I said Aaron Cruden, not Beaver, because...
Because he's got one testicle.
No,
Oh.
because I just thought that Luku is probably a better player than Beaver, and I think Beaver was a good player, but he was never like consistent test match level, in my
This is
opinion.
true.
Apart from that, well, and I still think Beaver's a legend, but anyway.
This is true. 28-20. Well done, Bordeaux. That was not the final that anybody expected.
No,
It was supposed to be Toulouse or Leinster or La Rochelle again, but no, it was nice to see. I like seeing a new winner.
did it feel flat to you in any way?
I got up to watch that one live, so the first half I was fully awake, and then the second half I was just kind of drifting.
So I woke up, and then
Did you know the result?
no,
Oh, there you
and
go.
then I was like, oh shit! And then Maddie got dropped home early. Usually I get her on Monday,
Yeah.
but her mum was going away, so she had dropped off at 9 a.m. on Sunday, which was fine. And then my fiance's niece was here too, so I kind of had a full house, and I was trying to organize the day while kind of watch it at the same time. So it was hard to be fully engaged. What I pictured in my mind's eye when we talked about it was early in the morning, Lydia will wake up late. I'll just have a bit of avocado and toast, little coffee.
Watch the game.
Watch the game. Didn't
In
we?
peace.
Best laid plans.
Yes,
As a dad, you can feel the
Oh, yeah.
difference between my expectations and reality
That's
there.
it.
You know,
That's
there's
one of
nothing
the
better
things.
than a little couple of hours to yourself in the morning when you're a dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Everyone's still in bed.
Yeah,
There were still some unsold seats in that final.
right up in the corners on those bits where you get rained on. Is it open there, or is it
They had
covered?
the roof closed, which was bizarre.
Those corner bits.
Yeah.
Why was it bizarre that it was closed?
No, I just mean it's bizarre. Like watching a game I know is being played in the middle of the day looks like a night game on TV while I'm sitting
Yeah.
there in the middle of the night.
Aye, Captain.
Yeah. I was like, you guys could have played this game at fucking 7 o'clock at night, and it would have been a lot easier on my
Yeah.
sleep, and there wouldn't have been a difference.
Yeah, and I did watch it during
At
the
a
day.
regular time.
Yeah, I probably should have woken up to give it its due attention.
As
I
long
saw
as you
a-
didn't know the result. It doesn't matter.
I saw a thing on Reddit, and sometimes someone will post, what podcast do I listen to? And then we're like the 5th or 6th or 8th or 12th going,
Yeah.
2 cents gets distracted, it's okay. And I'm always appreciative of it. But then there was some guy who went through that and he said, and he was going through all the strengths and lowlights and stuff of everyone, and they said, what's the name of that guy who got angry at me because I said he spoiled a result?
The Aussie guys, the 8-9.
The 8-9 combo. Great podcast. He said,
You genuinely like that podcast.
I do.
After we record, we're going to part the kimono here. After
We've watched it.
After we record this podcast, we generally sit there and have a cup of tea. Tony starts.
Should we tell them our sturdy little secret about what we watch every week?
No, Tony starts having a little bit of editing time, right?
Yeah.
And then I will have a browse on Tony's TV
Yeah.
for some YouTube to watch. And you've often been watching the 8-9.
Yeah. I
Often
do.
not a full episode because everything on your YouTube is like only the first quarter, but it's
That's how I watch
it's a
YouTube.
regular viewing thing for you.
Yeah. I like them. But anyway, somebody said they're very informative, quite funny at times, but probably get a little too into the detail of the game and a little bit too analytical, and it can be a bit tiresome. I've never found that. I've just found them quite interesting. But then they got down to us, and then they said, 2 cents gets distracted. Yeah, it's always an entertaining bit of a laugh. But opposite problem to the 8-9 combo, Tony often hasn't even watched the games, and very low light takes on the game without any valuable insights. And I was like,
Fair enough.
Fair take.
Yeah.
Take.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Oh well, bit of constructive criticism.
But did the
is always
8-9
good.
combo talk about wanking habits?
This is true.
No, probably not. Do we? On
2 cents gets distracted.
A rugby podcast? Yes.
A good thing is we cover a bit of everything as well.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want your wanking to come.
Actually, I wasn't talking about the wanking. I was just talking about European rugby,
Yeah, exactly.
New Zealand,
Super Rugby.
But everything.
We have a game
Oh,
show.
we don't cover
And we've done
Japanese rugby.
fucking 99 of these.
One more for $100.
Please
Send us your things
so
down in
yeah,
the
we need
description
to
in case you
we
skip
need
the
to do
start.
something. So yeah, currently we've got 2 people have submitted videos.
There we go.
He'll do a community post. I'll do a community post. It'll be below. We might do a Twitter post, and
We
then
want you.
we want you to be involved.
You could be on all this.
Wow!
Think about that.
Imagine the prestige.
Well, that's the Champions Cup for a season.
Season out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 6.
Yeah.
Best game, Northampton,
I
Leicester.
started watching Leinster.
Yeah.
I started watching the
Leinster, sorry.
Champions Cup, I feel like at the tail end, like when my channel first started, before they rejigged the format, I liked the old format a bit better when they had like pools of 4 teams and there was actually more on the line in the group stages. The group stages for the Champions Cup now kind of feel like old Super Rugby where it's like, most of these teams are going to make it, and you can tell who they are really early on, and you can tell these teams ain't got a shit show.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like...
Very predictable. Even the quarterfinals, barring Munster beating La Rochelle, they were all home team one, home team one, home team one, home team one.
You see the difference between the Chiefs, Crusaders, and the Force pretty quickly.
Yeah, pretty quickly.
Yeah, right.
So, I think it probably still has room to improve.
Speaking of Super Rugby teams, Super Rugby, yeah, the Blues didn't lose this weekend.
We didn't.
Yes.
We were on the bye.
Yeah, didn't get any points.
They went up in my power rankings because we were on the bye. By not losing, we went up in the power rankings.
Woo! How good. What
Love
are we
that
on the
Blues.
power rankings?
Oh, man, I don't even want to say because it's too high.
What is it?
5th.
What?
Yeah.
How the fuck are they in the 5th? They 5th.
The way I do the power rankings is I put more weight on the recent results and less weight on the old results.
yeah,
So the
right.
Blues lost more of their games at the start of the season,
Yeah,
and
they
their
had a
second
shock.
half of the season is actually not that bad. It's kind of like 50-50.
Yeah,
Whereas the
feels-
Reds like won their first 5 out of 6, and then
Yeah.
they've lost all but 2 of them more
So
recent games.
we're in front of them.
Yeah, because they got all their money in the bank at the start. The Reds are on a shit run at the moment. They keep losing.
But they're in the finals.
Like they lost to the fucking Drua. We went over to Fiji and hammered the Drua.
Yeah, right.
So there is kind of a logic to it, but I still feel like
Can they drop out at all?
no. I think the Reds are safe, whereas we are kind of in their race for that 6th spot.
Before we talk about any of the games, let's just go through the top 6 on who's safe and who's contesting still.
Yeah. So Chiefs are safe.
Satyrs are safe.
If they beat the Highlanders, I think they are guaranteed top spot,
All right.
which is crucial because it means you get an extra life
Okay.
for the playoffs, and it also means if you win, you go to
You
the
got an
home
extra
final.
light. You're guaranteed lucky loser.
Yes,
basically.
guaranteed. Even if you shit your bed in your quarterfinal.
So then, if they
whatever
win,
final
if they
it
win,
is.
it goes to the 2nd place, 3rd place,
Yeah.
4th place.
So then there's Crusaders and Brumbies who are 2nd and 3rd who are playing this weekend. So that's a direct battle for 2nd spot.
Okay.
So I think those teams are pretty much guaranteed top 3.
So Crusaders and Brumbies are playing this weekend.
They are over in Canberra.
Nice.
So that's going to be very tasty. And then there's Hurricanes who secured their playoff spot, and the Reds, who I think can be caught in terms of the points. They're on 33. If they were to shit the bed against the Drua, which they won't, but they could be caught on points. But I think their win record is good enough to edge out in a tiebreaker the Blues or Moana Pacifica.
Right.
So there's 6th spot, which is still available for the Moana Pacifica boys.
So just go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just quick.
So Chiefs, Crusaders, Brumbies, Reds, and Hurricanes.
So the Canes are all good. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So really, it's between us and Moana Pacifica.
Well, the Waratahs, with their win over the Force, kept their hopes alive. If they can roll us at Eden Park, they're a chance.
So if they roll us at Eden Park, what do they need? A massive win, basically.
They just need to beat us and Moana Pacifica to not beat the Hurricanes. So
I thought they were all but done.
they were, but then somehow they fucking pulled it out of the fire.
So if we win and Moana wins, do we go through? When I say we, we're the Blues.
Yeah, I think we're on the same points, but they've got one more win than us, so I think they would go through. But if we got a bonus point and they didn't, then we would go through.
Right.
So, yeah.
So bonus points are going to be crucial. So all 3 of these teams could lose, and it could just come down to who
Well,
gets...
all 3 can't lose because we're playing the Waratahs. But it could be a draw. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So it's...
I feel like most likely
So
scenario.
it's actually made this game between the Blues and the
Tars very important.
very tasty for both teams.
Direct knock. It's like a pre-knockout knockout.
Hey, yeah. Jeez Louise. And what the fuck? Like, the Moana Pacifica went from looking like a genuine playoff team,
By beating the Blues.
beating the Canes this year,
They've beaten the Crusaders down in Christchurch. And for all the shit Super Rugby gets, the biggest points total a team has had put on them thus far this season until this most recent round
40
was
something?
57 points.
Okay, right.
Yeah, it's been a few 50s.
Right. And then...
Like 50's a big score, but it's not like...
80.
It's not 85.
80 with an 8. Damn. And
They
was it a case of them playing their final the week before and being emotionally drained, or because full disclosure, much like that Reddit commenter said, I watched the first 10 to 15 minutes of that game before I went out for dinner. Daphne's in Ponsonby. It was a lovely evening.
Very dapper.
But it was. Then I checked, and then I was like, "Oh, watch that when I get home."
Yeah.
And then I somehow went on stuff, and I saw 85.
7.
I don't even know if I saw 85 or something. I just saw actually an update.
Massive score.
And massive score. And I was like, oh, they're gone.
Yep.
I was like, oh, that's taken all. Because I love Moana Pacifica. They're my team. I feel like they kind of are.
They're on the shore.
They're on the shore. And I lost all motivation to watch it. And I was like, oh, what was the end result? And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
What
So
happened?
from 57 being the highest points total, the team's conceded to 85. Partly, Moana were not up for it. They missed some tackles. They looked disinterested, lethargic at times. But then,
emotionally spent from the week before?
At times. But then other times, it's just like the Chiefs were just doing fucking magic shit. I think they would have walloped anybody.
They just... All the passes were going to hand.
And there was a point where I think the Chiefs were 3 tries up. I think it was 19-0.
They were like All Blacks versus South Africa 2017.
Yeah, basically, just everything went right. But they blew a bunch of chances as well.
Wow.
The Chiefs could have had more. Moana had 30% possession and territory in the first half. They were just defending and conceding points.
How did Adi look out there?
He scored their only try.
He was doing his best.
Doing his best. But...
didn't look like the player of the week before.
No.
Because he just didn't have a opportunity.
85-7.
Ouch. Very, very, very disappointing.
That guy Leroy Carter looked real good. He got a hat
Leroy
Jenkins. Yeah. And Cortez Ratzima got a hat trick as well. He was running some good support lines. And just the kicks through, they were going to hand and everything was going right. Some of the forwards got nice tries. Simon Parker looked really good.
Duplessis Karevi has been undeniably good. Great.
He plays
fantastic.
For the Hurricanes.
Fuck yeah, he does. Bugger.
That's a different game.
Why did I...
You wanted to talk about him. We were talking about him before the podcast. That's why he's been on your brain.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I was thinking about Cortez Rat. I was going to bring up the argument between Cortez Ratma and Cam Roigard.
Because we were talking about Cam Roigard
and then
before
I was
we started
like,
as well.
And then I was
Roigard,
like...
Karifi.
And then I'll go, no, I'll just go straight to
the Canes game.
Duplessis. Yeah. But okay, who do you start at 9? Roigard or Ratama?
I think Roigard.
Okay. Ratama, is he an impact player or a starter, or do we just keep him out, or is there somebody else?
Weirdly, I think you probably get more impact from Roigard from the bench. He's done that super sub role for the ABs before when he was doing his kind of apprenticeship. But then...
Does Roigard have a quick enough pass?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think maybe Ratzima's got him with the distribution game, but Roigard's got him with pretty much all the other stuff.
The magic.
His carries and...
So maybe you get...
Draw man.
Maybe you get Radama to start, and then he just gets quick ball, gets front football for the backs, that gets the backs to be able to, do a bit of magic, doesn't hold things up, doesn't take any sniping runs when it's not really on, but then when it's in the balance, you've got quick feet, a bit of magic against tired legs.
There's an argument to be made for you could do that.
Take that Reddit poster who says I make no good insights. Yeah, that was
He's giving Razor some tips.
Yeah, exactly. Razor watches this pod. I don't think Razor's going to give us a vid for next week, are they?
Don't know.
Any surprise good thing? Any interesting people who might comment next week? Be good to get in terms of our engagement, I'm trying to say, why can't I speak? This is a spoken word podcast.
That's how this works. We talk.
People listen. They
Yeah.
should be questioned. What are they doing with their lives?
Very true.
No, for the voice notes and videos and stuff.
Yes.
We're going to have anyone interesting, you reckon? Speak. Send us a voice note or a video.
Maybe Riyadh?
I was thinking more Anton Dupont.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We would love Rian. Rian's probably a bit out of our league.
Maybe. He is a multiple 2CGD award winner.
Yeah. Rusty Erasmus, maybe. Big fan.
He's probably pretty busy.
The guys from SA Rugby Mag. Real big hitter.
Kells and what's his name?
Zayo and Kells. I watch. They're my ultimate watch. The first 10 seconds of. They're so on my algorithm, but they're so 15 seconds with. I love their intro. They like come up over like Tabletop Mountain. They've upped their game in terms.
They got drone shots going on.
Yeah, they're on a balcony drinking champagne or beers.
Nice.
And now it's outdoors as well.
Good. You need a good dead cat.
And then I saw someone called us the New Zealand KO and Zels.
Oh, what? I won't stand for that.
I think they just meant...
Maybe you. Not me. Not me.
Not me. I just think they meant like banter.
Okay.
Right? And not a good time banter boys.
Okay.
Not like wildly one-eyed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Although you are wildly one-eyed.
I am not. Am I?
Sometimes.
Yeah, I can be. It's only because all the teams I support are the best.
There you go. That's why that is.
Yeah.
The Hurricanes with
Apart from the
Duplessis
ones that
Karifi
all-
did get an away win over the Reds, who, as I said, are on a bit of a bad run.
So look, this is just an original thought that's come to me right now. Duplessis Karifi.
Wow, yes.
How good is that guy? He's
having a good season.
He's been undeniable.
Turnover king.
Yeah. So for you, those of you,
How does the All Blacks back row?
shape up.
Give Razor some more tips.
I think you have. Oh, now this is going to be tough. The only thing with Duplessis Karevi is his natural position is 7.
Yes.
And he's a similar body shape to and dynamism. Oh, can I speak dynamism? Dynamism? You know what I'm trying to say. Dynamic nature is similar to one Artie Severe. So I think they're a bit of a like for like.
He doesn't have the same ball carrying game as Artie, but he certainly has a hell of a tackle and turnover game.
Yeah. So Satiti at 8,
Artie at 7.
Hardy at 7,
You
and
need a sucks.
yeah, but you probably just need a big old body.
You just want a big old bit of Samapeni Finau.
Yeah, Blackadder, someone like that.
Even old Scooter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If he needs to be. Yeah.
Yeah, they could
But
go with they could go with a short back row and have some pretty sexy. Like you could go Artie, Hoskins, and Satiti. Like Satiti 6, Artie 7, Hoskins
We're
at
not
'eight.
even
Like that would but
We're
it's
not
like
even
it's
t-
not as
we're
tall as
not-
you might like.
And we're not even talking about Hoskins.
Yeah, Hoskins has no chance, but I would fucking love it.
Oh yeah, he's so good.
Yeah. The Blues are shit this year, but Hoskins is still a good player.
We should make our top 15 of like shunned players. Yeah. Like
Most hated.
most hated. Have Beaver, and then we'll have obviously Shooter Stevenson at the back.
Yeah, he's having a fucking good season.
Oh, he's so
He
good.
set up, I think, 3 tries in that game.
Yeah.
Including a fucking amazing cross kick. Shooter was on fire.
Chances-
Ratsima set up 4.
If he was
Like, what game you set up 3 tries and you're like, oh, well, you're the second best this week for try assists.
That's nuts, eh? If Shooter was just bursting onto the scene and he was like, this was his first or second season, we'd be like, oh, he'd be a shout for an All Black. Well, we've just been down this road so many times. We've been like, maybe this year they'd take a punt on him.
Yeah, nah, he's shunned.
Absolutely
For
shunned.
sure.
Who's another great player who's been shunned? Buck was shunned, but
Bring back Buck.
in a different way. Any other great shunned players?
Oh, there's heaps.
And I'm talking about specifically players who could have played for the All Blacks. At least more for the All Blacks.
I think Brad Weber didn't get the caps he probably should have, to be honest.
Didn't get the rub of the green, sadly.
He kind of stuck around for long enough.
Yeah.
He was just kind of always like, oh, you'll get a cap here and there. You'll be our third choice guy here and there. Never quite.
And then not getting taken to the 2023 World Cup was particularly brutal.
Yeah.
Who'd they taken instead? Oh, they took Cam Roygard, didn't they? They took Roygard, obviously Aaron Smith, and who was the third?
Was it not TJ? No.
No, did TJ?
Did you go this? Oh,
No, TJ didn't go to the World Cup.
well, Ratsma. No, I got to remember like a fucking sieve. I can't remember.
This is your job.
I got bad memory.
And what other games were on this weekend?
The Crusaders kind of snuck past the Landers. The Landers this year are in the bottom spot. They've only had 3 wins.
Yeah.
But they have 7 motherfucking losing bonus points.
Yeah.
7.
So if they had those 7
It's only a fucking 14-game season.
Quite incredible.
7 losing bonus points, and they've still got 1 game to go. They could get 8 losing bonus points.
They looked so good the last couple of weeks without getting the victory. They pushed the
I
Crusaders.
could feel that coming. They were in the lead. They were making the Crusaders tackle the house down, and I was like, I've seen this movie before.
Yeah, 100%.
This is like the horror movie where they're running upstairs away from the killer.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're about to get away, but you know they're getting the knife.
What's the problem? Like, they've scored some great tries this year. Obviously, they missed a few kicks, and that was really damaging for them. You know, had a kick at the very end to put it into overtime. But in terms of their attacking penetration in the red zone, seems as though they were really lacking in that department.
Yeah, I feel like they're missing Tangi Tau since he got injured. He was like
a real
proper X Factor.
Threat.
He's a proper try scorer.
Yeah.
Like they've got some good players in his stead, and like Tavatava Nawai's been crazy with his breakdown work.
Yeah.
That guy's phenomenal.
Yeah.
But he's not had like a massive try scoring run.
Yeah, I feel like
year.
Tavatava Nawai almost is doing too much.
Maybe.
Like, he can't be used as like the super attacking threat. He's just in the rucks, in the carries, tackling his balls out, doing great things all around. But there need to be other players. There need to be other contributors. And it was so disheartening because they had all the territory, all the possession.
Yeah.
They were dominant for so long, just were not able, to give the Crusaders some credit, they were defending like absolute demons.
They would throw the kitchen sink at them, and then eventually they'd be like, all right, let's just off for the 3. And then they would miss the 3.
Yeah, it was terrible. And then the Crusaders would just get, 1 or 2 penalties, get a couple of phases in the red zone, and just like clockwork,
try time.
score a try. Make it look insanely easy.
Yep. Reese got the try, which got him the try scoring record for Super Rugby.
It wasn't the try you dreamed of to break a record, but well done, Sevu.
He's still a bit of a dick.
Yeah, but I'm
not a moral high horse guy, but I would rather that record be broken by someone else.
Yeah, come on. Oh, I was about to say
Israel Folau. He was the guy who had it before.
And then Julian Surveyor is the closest guy.
Yeah.
And
he's had domestic abuse things.
Oh, yeah.
That's a sad state of affairs.
It's a sad, sad situation. Yeah, anyway.
But yeah, the Crusaders, it was not convincing.
No. It was
but they got the win.
And I think, to be fair, the Highlanders have played terrifically well.
Fitting of a Southern derby.
Yes, and gallant, which is a shitty thing to be.
7 times. 7 motherfucking times.
They beat us.
They did beat us.
Bastards.
I know. They've only got 3 wins.
Yeah, and we got... oh, well.
Then the Force and the Waratahs went down to Super Point.
Wow.
Waratahs needed to get an away win in Perth, and wouldn't you know it, they can win on the road.
What a grandstand finish.
You thought it was a knock-on.
I think I was just trying to disagree with you. 50-50.
Okay.
Yeah.
Benefit of the doubt.
Sure, why
To
not?
the
But it
attacking
looked
team.
like he's putting the ball down, and then the ball moves independently from how his hand's moving. And that,
I think it's still touching his fingers, which is enough.
But really?
Benefit of the doubt to the
Tell you
attacking
what,
team.
I'm holding on to this right now, and it's staying with my hand. But the moment, so if I start to drop it, like from a camera angle, it might look
You just
like.
got to be pushing it down at the same time.
But I feel like once it actually
Slam that sucker down.
leaves my palm and then has its own momentum that is independent from my momentum or my applied
You
force.
lost forward.
Yeah, I think so.
It makes the final round cool.
Yes, that makes it very cool.
Rule of cool.
Yeah, that would have actually been better for us if they lost. It really wouldn't it?
Yeah, because then it would just be on Moana Pacifica, and then the Waratahs would have less to play for. Now
Imagine
they're going to be fired up, but they are going to have to fly all the way from Perth back to the east coast of Australia and then down here. So
That
maybe they'll be
means-
tired.
Maybe that
We're coming off the bye. We'll be fresh.
Imagine if
Ready
they
to
lost
go.
that game and then we got into the 6 on a losing bonus point.
Bozo point.
But it would have been a bozo point at that stage. I almost feel like for the Blues, it's just like, just stop the pain. Let's just cut the season short. Although I've never...
It would be much more special for Moana to make
yeah.
it, or even the Tars.
Or the Force can't.
Force
But
can't.
I was secretly hoping the Force
But imagine
could
the
do something
Tars
special.
roll us. Moana can't get it done against the Canes, and then they make it like they had this stacked side, which was
Yeah.
going to be a potential title contender, and it's not quite worked out for them. But then they sneak into the top 6.
So Ali comes
Either
back.
of those stories, either of those storylines would be better than the Blues like limping in.
Still what I want.
I still want us to limp in as well.
Yeah, exactly. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark.
I reckon the Chiefs, who are going to finish top, would rather either of those teams rather than the Blues.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Maybe I say this as an arrogant Aucklander.
Maybe, and we can go down there and big brother them.
There you go.
Yeah. Little old Waikato. Okay. Should we play New Zealand's fastest?
There's no USC on the weekend.
Fucking dunks. We can't play our
We're at
game.
the Champions Cup final.
Shitballs.
You are used to the New Zealand system where it's just like we just play Super Rugby every week.
Rugby.
We don't go, let's stop the Super Rugby for a week and have some NPC.
Okay. Should we talk Origin then?
No.
Origin.
I have some news for you.
Origin.
I have some news for you.
Lay that sweet hot news on me, daddy.
Rugby World Cup
Yes, I like.
for clubs.
What?
Yes. Remember that Stephen Donald thing about the low level and how, well, we never get to really see which club is the best? Apparently,
What? There's going to be an answer?
there's going to be an answer.
No.
It's not 100% signed on the dotted line, but word from Europe, the guy who runs the Champions Cup competition, has basically said that they've pretty much locked it in for 2028 and 2032. So every 4 years,
Oh, wow.
there will be a Club Rugby World Cup featuring the best 8 teams from the Champions Cup, so the quarterfinalists. They'll go through the regular Champions Cup group stages,
Yep.
get to the quarterfinals, and then they're like, actually, pull the rug out of that competition. We don't need that anymore.
Yank.
Let's bring in those Super Rugby motherfuckers and get them to play.
So explain that to me again. I was thinking about something else.
It doesn't surprise me. So the 8 quarterfinalists from the Champions Cup,
Yeah.
and instead of playing their regular quarterfinals against each other,
Yes.
we bring in the Super Rugby top 6.
right,
This
yeah.
is the Chinese for 6. Six.
That's Chinese for 6.
6, baby.
6 me up,
They can
baby.
do all the way up to 10 on one hand. It's much more efficient.
Can we talk about this later?
6 teams from Super Rugby,
Okay. 6.
and then potentially 2 others, maybe from Japan.
Japan.
So these 8 from the Pacific against the
One
8.
Japan, one MLR.
Maybe, but the MLR teams are a bit lower level.
Put the finalist in there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's yet to be decided.
Put the final. The
There's
grand
also
final
some
winner.
talk it might be 7 from Super Rugby, but that would be a bit excessive. Because Super Rugby goes into a 16 playoff, so 6 would make sense to me.
Okay. Yeah.
So those 6 teams plus 2 more, whether it's Japan or MLR or whatever, up against the best 8 teams from the Champions Cup. Boom.
So it's a real carrot to make it that year.
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
want to focus on
What
that
time of
Club
year is
Rugby
this going to
World
happen?
Cup, I think just at the regular time of the season, like instead of having the like now, instead of having the Champions Cup playoff
So what are the
stages,
Super Rugby going to do that when that's
maybe
happening?
they're gonna also get to the Super Rugby playoff stages and go, right, instead of Super Rugby this year, we're gonna go to this Club Rugby World Cup.
Right.
There's still too many questions to be answered, and apparently it's going to be played like back to back to back weekends over like
So
4
it's like
weekends or something.
it's going to be called Super Rugby World Cup.
It's going to be the
Champions Year.
Club Rugby World Cup or Rugby Club World Cup.
So all that whole season's going to be about, okay, these teams
We're going to the
play.
World Cup. We need to do well in Super Rugby, or we'll do well in the Champions Cup to get to the World Cup.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. And okay, so in terms of getting to the World Cup, is it going to be they're going to go camp out and like with like a regular
It's
World
going
Cup?
to be in Europe,
But can it
so
change?
we're going to be away from home.
Oh, that sucks.
That does suck.
So, but we have to go. If we go in there and back, we're going to lose because that's shit.
I think it's going to be just like they're going to have it in a World Cup has a host. It's going to be like a host city or whatever, host country, and they just go back to back like 4 weekends or 5 weekends.
So you have to spend a month and a half away from home if you win.
Basically, yes.
Oh, that's a big ask. I guess it's once every 4 years.
But again, it's not 100% confirmed. The initial feedback I've seen, people in Europe and South Africa are not happy that Super Rugby seems a little bit overrepresented.
All right, we'll just stick it right up their asses and
Because like the top 14's 14 teams.
Yeah.
The Premiership's like, is it 10 teams?
Yeah.
And then the URC is like 16 teams.
I said like
so all those three, they get 8. This is the Chinese 8. They get 8 and we get 6. We get 6 out of 11. They get 8 out of like 40.
All right.
So they don't like that. They would have rather seen like 4 URC teams, 4 top 14 teams, and 4 Premiership teams,
But this
plus
is the
4
only
Super
way it
Rugby
can
teams.
work.
I think I get the reason why it's not that is because we already have the Champions Cup where you get to see URC up against top 14.
Yeah.
You already get to see Premiership up against top 14.
Yeah.
The whole point is you get to see different teams playing each other. If you just picked 4 from each, you would still have a heap of just almost regular Champions Cup games.
It gets special when you bring our special boys in.
We are the special boys.
Podcast title. We are the special boys.
So I get why they've done it that way. I do worry if they seeded it like Moana Pacifica, 6th place, gets to take on Toulouse, like that could be bad.
Ari Savia plays out of his skin. Wow. So when's the first year of it again?
2028, if it goes ahead.
Tasty.
So you think it's tasty? It's been divisive.
Okay, you're pissed off that they're pissed off it's gonna have so many of us, but I'm pissed off it's always gonna be in Europe.
True.
So suck it up, Buttercup.
There you go.
Jinx.
Should be pretty interesting.
Indeed.
It will certainly answer the question about what the levels are like compared to the sides.
So
now,
we can see what
you
is
would
the
love
level.
this year because there'd be no South African representation because none of their teams made the Champions Cup quarterfinals.
Wow. Holy shit, Nat.
Yeah.
Why do you say I would love that?
Just because I was there in that part.
No,
I love pitting you up against us South African
exactly.
viewers.
I love the South Africans. I made a love letter to the South Africans.
I'm getting the South Africans on my side, so
I
they
made a
hate
video
you.
that was a love letter to the South African All Black relationship.
This is true.
Exactly.
Use this for your thumbnail. Laughing at you with the South Africans. But there you go. Club Rugby World Cup.
Fantastic.
Potentially 2028.
Sounds tasty, mate.
One more rugby thing.
Okay, yes.
Pac 4, Pacific 4. We won it by flogging the Americans. The women's rugby 79-14.
Right, the Americans scored first.
We flogged them.
All right, we got up, did we?
And they're like the
Portia Woodman still looks pretty great, doesn't she?
Canadians beat the Australians 45-7. So the last round was a bit of a hiding round.
So basically, to make that competition decent, we need to get the Yanks up and the Aussies up.
Yep.
It blows my mind how good Canada is at women's rugby.
Yeah, I think they used to be decent at
Didn't
men's
we-
rugby pre-professionalism.
We just scraped it through into.
We drew with them, so
Yeah,
we were hit.
we
We
were
finished
gonna
head to
lose
head
it.
on points, but we beat them with like points difference.
point stuff. Okay.
Yep.
Wow. And then when does that World Cup actually start?
Later this year,
Thanks, Mark. That's really good. Maybe November.
I'll do some videos on it.
Yeah, maybe we'll do another live stream or two.
That'll be good.
Can we talk Origin now?
That's all I have in my notes.
Origin's on Wednesday night.
Just remember that it's our 100th episode next week.
Yes.
And send us your videos down in the link.
Videos, voice notes, whatever. We will watch them and
No dick pics.
yeah, and we'll get someone to censor the content first. I feel like us saying we'll censor the content is just
It's
like
inviting more. Yeah.
dick pics. I'll be like, Lydia, how was it? It was like
There's a bunch of dick pics. They've all got small dicks. You got the small dick viewers.
You got 89 micro penises.
We are big in the micro penis world.
Yeah. I like that.
I bet you do.
Yeah. Oi. All right, fabulous.
Origin.
It's on Wednesday night. That's all I wanted to say.
That's cool. It's a big event in rugby league.
And it's one of the biggest. It's pretty good. You gonna watch it?
Probably not.
You live streamed it a couple of years ago.
A couple of years ago.
Can't live stream it.
People ask me to.
Do it. You
know the problem with rugby league?
It's a great game.
I don't like it that much.
So fucking good, man.
Stanley Cup playoffs are on at the moment. I'm more invested in that.
What do you like about rugby?
I like the scrums, and the lineouts, and the 15 men on the field for each team at a time.
So you don't like the ball skills, the stepping, the collisions, the incredible skills, the interplay.
I like watching rugby
amazing
league
finishes.
highlights. Highlights are fun, but it's the same way. Like I can enjoy golf highlights, but I ain't fucking watching golf.
Oh man, golf is
I
great,
ain't
though.
watching. I am not watching.
You just gotta get invested. You just gotta learn more about it. Anyway, and that's all I've got to say about that.
But if you like those things,
Like away.
you are entitled to do so.
And if you like this podcast,
2 cents guess this record. This is the most plugs you've made for our own podcast.
yeah, I
ever.
like just to say it. 2 Cents Gets Directed Rugby Podcast. Thank you for listening or watching on iHeartRadio,
Apple Podcasts,
Spotify,
or wherever else you get your podcasts.
or watching on YouTube. We appreciate you.
Give Nathan Loughnan a job if you are in a position to do so.
Yeah, please do it. Just reach out and give him an
Just
opportunity.
check out his CV.
Yeah, have a look. And yeah, 100th episode next week. So that'll be. Oh, it's going to be. Do you think the
It's gonna
2
be a
C?
big occasion.
You think the 2C GDs are a big event?
The week after the Champions Cup final, and the final round of regular season
Please,
Super Rugby.
yeah.
We've timed it perfectly. All
Nothing's-
those years ago, we were like, let's get it when it's round 16.
That's right. 100%. Yeah, what year was it when we started doing
Was
this?
it pre-COVID or
It
post-COVID?
was in COVID-y times.
Was it?
Yeah.
Why was I coming around to your house during COVID?
I had COVID one week and you weren't allowed to come around.
Oh, that's
It
right.
was like the sort of murky times. Anyway, these are less murky times. Thank you, Mark.
Good to
Thank
see you all.
Hi-de-da. Bye-bye.
Boom.